Have an online video interview coming up, haven't done one before, or are anxious about how to impress your interviewers on camera? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to give you 10 tips to help you look good, feel confident, impress your interviewers, and make your video interview go smoothly. Hi there, I'm Stacey Davidson, founder and CEO of Virtual Job Search Coach, creator of the Power Up Your Job Search program, and on this channel I teach techniques and strategies to help you determine, pursue, and land your dream job. So regardless of where you are in the world, we've all been impacted in one way or another by the current COVID-19 pandemic. With new social distancing guidelines, many employers are moving towards conducting interviews by online video, or at least your stage 1 interview. So today, I'm going to tell you how to set up your environment for your video interview. Some things you might not have thought about to help you look great on camera, what to plan for, and give you my #1 tip to keep you confident and help you ace your video interview. And you'll definitely want to stick around to the end for my bonus tip. Now, before we jump into my top 10 tips to ace your video interview, please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and so you don't miss out, ring the bell to get notifications of my upcoming videos. I plan to post 1 video a week, but I may squeeze in an extra one here or there, so don't miss out. So I'm going to break this down into 10 tips. So tip #1 is about your equipment. You can use a tablet or a phone for your phone interview, but ideally you want to use a large screen. So I recommend using a laptop or a desktop computer if you can. If you are going to use your tablet or phone, do not hold it in your hand while being interviewed. Make sure you use a secure stand and do not walk and talk. It will cause your screen to shake, your background to be constantly moving, it's unprofessional, and will give your interviewers a bad impression. The same goes if you have noisy pets. Screeching birds and barking dogs make it hard for interviewers to hear you clearly. It distorts your sound, and it could mean the difference between getting the job or a second interview. Tip #3, test your video and microphone equipment the day before or at least several hours before. Don't wait until 5 minutes before your video call to find out your microphone isn't working or your webcam is dirty. Ask a friend to set up a video meeting with you so you can test your sound and ask them for feedback on how you look on camera. This leads me to tip #4. Don't use fake backgrounds. I've had several meetings with people using fake backgrounds, and it's annoying because when they move their head while they're talking, it's creating a halo distortion around their image, which looks weird and it's distracting. I get it. Maybe you don't have a clean space or a nice tidy background, or you just don't want people to see inside your house. But here's my hot tip #1 on this one. Sit in a chair with a blank wall fairly close behind you. Use a small desk or a folding table or a stand of some sort to put your laptop on in front of you. You want your screen to be fairly level with your face, and I'll explain why in a minute. If you have to, stack some books or a box on the table to raise your webcam to face level. By sitting with a wall behind you, it makes the background appear smaller, so you can keep that pile of dirty dishes or those kids' toys out of view. And the closer you are to your webcam, the smaller your background will be, so the focus of your interviewers remains on you. And here's my hot tip #2. If you have a double chin or neck fat like me, place your laptop a little higher than eye level. Not a lot, just a couple of inches. It'll help prevent the double chin appearance and give you a nicer facial posture. This is why it's so great to practice ahead of time with a friend so they can advise you on any adjustments you need to make. Tip #5, plug in your laptop or tablet. This might sound either unimportant or like common sense, but I discovered the hard way recently during a Zoom call when my laptop wasn't plugged in and it got hot faster. So the fan kicked on and it was a wee bit noisy. It sounded like a bee was trapped in my microphone, and it was really irritating to the person I was talking to. Also, you don't want to run the risk of your computer shutting down because your battery ran out, or your battery running low message pops up on your screen and distracts you. Speaking of pop-ups, tip #6 is turn off your notifications. I love it when I get my new recipe pop-up from my favorite recipe site, or Facebook reminds me it's my friend's birthday today, just not in the middle of an interview. So go into your operating system settings and change or temporarily disable your notifications. Oh, and speaking of noises and notifications, please make sure your cell phone ringer is turned off, not on vibrate. Turn all sounds off during your interview. Now we're coming up on my 4 best and most important tips. So if you like this video so far, please click the like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Tip number 7 is all about lighting. It's very important to have very good lighting during your video interview. If you don't, you're going to look like a big dark shadow, and interviewers want to see your face clearly. You don't want to have light directly above your head or a ceiling light in the background behind you. You want to have as much light as possible in front of you. Try to sit facing a window, but if your interview is not in the summer or daylight hours, then obviously this won't help. So in that case, try a couple of lamps near you but behind your laptop screen. Again, experiment with your friend on what lighting looks best, with lampshades on or lampshades off. Sometimes shades off and lamps a little further away works well, but it all depends on the size of your room, the number and size of windows, wall color, and so on. Alternatively, if you think you'll be holding lots of video interviews or holding video meetings in your future job, you could consider investing in an inexpensive selfie light ring. I'll put a link for the one I use in the description box below. Tip number 8 is about eye contact. I know, that was creepy, right? One of the trickiest things about video interviews is remembering to look at that tiny little camera lens when you talk, not the people on your screen. Otherwise, your interviewers never actually feel like they're holding eye contact with you. This does take a little practice. However, you don't need to stare at your tiny camera lens the entire time either, because it's also not natural. So here's what I suggest. Look at the person on the screen when they're speaking to you. Then, when it's your turn to speak, try to remember to look at the little tiny camera lens as much as you can. But if you forget, don't beat yourself up. Video conferencing is new to everyone, so lots of people are making these mistakes. All right, so let's move on to tip number 9, what to wear. So you have to treat your video interview exactly the same as you would if you were going to an in-person interview. You need to dress to impress, so make sure you look well-groomed. Think about what color top you will wear in comparison to your background. If you have a white background, don't wear white. Wear a color that contrasts the white wall, but preferably not black, as black doesn't show up well on camera and makes most people look washed out. If you're in a room with poor lighting, wear a lighter colored top. Don't wear something busy like paisley, polka dot, or stripes, as they don't show up well on camera and can even give a dizzying effect for your viewers. Keep jewelry simple, not too sparkly or reflective, especially if you're using a selfie light. Okay, so now for my favorite tip number 10. If you're someone who gets anxious on camera or shy or just plain nervous in interviews and you have a tendency to blank out or get stuck on your thoughts, then put sticky notes around the outside of your computer screen with trigger words that will help you remember the story examples that you should have been practicing ahead of time. You can also list your key skills and strengths on your sticky notes. So again, if you get struck by a sudden attack of panic or your brain goes blank, you can glance at your cheat sheet sticky notes and regain your confidence. My bonus tip for video interviews is to remember to relax, smile, and be yourself. This is your chance to impress your potential new employer, but also where you get to know each other a little and see if the job opportunity is a mutually good fit for both them and you. Your cheat sheet sticky notes will be there for you if you get nervous or suddenly go blank. So sit back, smile, and let your light shine. Want to know my top 10 story examples you should prepare for your next interview? Click the video link above or in the description box below to watch my video called Nailed Your Interview with these top 10 examples. If you like what you've learned in this video today, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share with your friends. And click your screen here for 2 of my other videos that I think you might like. 4 strategies to fast track your job search, and one of my most powerful job search strategies, informational interviews. I'll see you over there.